I was halfway through my coffee when she said it. "You're in big trouble." I froze. The diner noise just faded. My 6-year-old granddaughter Zoe sat across from me, legs swinging off the vinyl booth, eyes wide, holding a folded yellowed piece of paper like it was nuclear. I tried to laugh it off. "What kind of trouble are we talking about?" But she slid that note across the table without a word. I didn't touch it. Couldn't. The way her eyes shimmered. This wasn't one of her games. "I found it," she said, "in the brown suitcase. The one in the attic. That suitcase belonged to her birth mom, Kendra. I adopted Zoe after Kendra passed an overdose," they said. "I never opened that case. Thought it'd be too painful. Too invasive. But that day Zoe did what I couldn't. I finally unfolded the paper. The handwriting was soft, curved, feminine. A letter. One name leapt off the page like a punch to the ribs. Celeste Monroe. I hadn't heard that name in 40 years, but I'd never forgotten it. She was the girl I let slip through my fingers. Or more truthfully, the one my father pushed out of my life when I was 25 and stupid. Celeste was everything brilliant, stubborn, full of fire. We had a thing. Not a fling, not a mistake. A thing. Real. But she was black, and my family wasn't having it. I blinked hard. The note was addressed to me. If you're reading this, then maybe fate finally got tired of waiting. That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind spun through memories like a busted carousel. The bridge in Baton Rouge. Her laugh. Her lemon pie. I pulled the suitcase out from the attic, opened it up, and inside, buried beneath baby clothes and a worn-out doll, was a photograph. Celeste, holding a baby. Standing next to her was me. Younger, smiling, arm around her shoulder like we were going to start a life. I didn't even remember that photo being taken. But there it was. I stumbled back, breath knocked out of me. Kendra, Zoe's birth mom. That baby was Kendra, which meant Zoe. Jesus. She wasn't just my granddaughter by law. She was mine by blood. I felt the walls shift around me. All these years, I thought I'd failed a girl I barely knew, but I'd failed a daughter I never even met. And now someone else wanted to take Zoe away. A week earlier, I got a call someone named Marcus Bell had filed a petition for custody, claimed to be Zoe's great-uncle, said she should be with her people, said a rich white man like me had no business raising her. I asked to meet him, not in court, man to man. We met in the back of his auto shop, Bell's Garage, outside Augusta. The place smelled like oil coffee and truth. He didn't shake my hand, just crossed his arms and said, "You the one who took in my niece's kid?" I nodded. "She's my granddaughter." He scoffed. "Legally, maybe. But what makes you think you can give that child what she needs?" So I told him. Not about my bank account. Not about the estate or the private school. I told him about Zoe's night terrors. About how she hums when she's anxious. How she makes memory gardens with crayons. How she calls me Pops when she's happy and Mr. Everett when she's mad. I showed him the letter from Celeste. The photo. I told him the truth. He stared at it for a long time. "This girl, she's yours?" he asked. "She's ours," I said. "She's Kendra's. She's Celeste's. She's yours too if you want to be in her life. But I'm not giving her up." His face softened for a second. Then he said something that stopped me cold. "Then don't lie to her. Let her ask. Give her the truth." And that hit deeper than anything. A few days later, he came to the house, brought Zoe a puzzle and a slice of peach cobbler. They sat on the porch like old friends. She showed him a drawing of herself flying her dream, she said. He smiled. "Then we better make sure you've got strong wings." He dropped the custody case the next morning. I thought that was the end of it. Thought we'd ride off into our new chapter. But that suitcase had one more secret. Tucked inside the doll Zoe slept with every night was a key. and a line in Celeste's journal. If you ever find the key, go to Locker 6B New Orleans train station. You'll understand. So I went. Inside was a box, letters, documents, photos. But what shook me wasn't just that Celeste had hidden all this. It was the truth they told. Kendra had been passed through a foster system riddled with corruption. Her file had been scrubbed. Her placements paid off. She'd been trafficked not on the street but through the very system meant to protect her. One letter had a name. Gordon Pierce, a man I once hired as a legal consultant for one of my companies. That night I played the cassette I found in the box. It was Kendra's voice, shaky but strong. If you're hearing this, it means I didn't make it out. Please, don't let them take her. My daughter isn't a mistake. She's not what they said I was. She's light. She's fire. Protect her. My hands shook. I thought I'd cried all I could. I hadn't. I called Marcus. Called Hal, my old friend who once worked Homeland Security. I called a lawyer. And then I called the press. 2 weeks later, I stood on the courthouse steps holding that photo of baby Kendra and Celeste. I told the world everything. The case exploded. Indictments, investigations. But behind the cameras, behind the headlines, was one small voice. Zoe. That night she sat in my lap, tracing the photo's edges. She looks like me, she whispered. She is you, I said. And then she asked the one question I didn't know how to answer. Did they hurt her? I swallowed hard. They tried. But she fought. And now we fight too. A few days ago, Zoe planted a sunflower in our yard. She said it was for the brave lady in the letter. I asked her what she wanted to be when she grew up. She said someone who sees the truth and doesn't look away. And I'll be damned if I let this world dim that kind of light again. What do you think? Should blood define family or love? Can a broken system be fixed from the inside, or does it need to be burned down? Comment below. Share what you've seen, what you've lived. Because Zoe's story isn't just hers. It belongs to every child who was left behind. And now, we're listening. I was halfway through my coffee when she said it. You're in big trouble. I froze. The diner noise just faded. My 6-year-old granddaughter Zoe sat across from me, legs swinging off the vinyl booth, eyes wide, holding a folded yellowed piece of paper like it was nuclear. I tried to laugh it off. What kind of trouble are we talking about? But she slid that note across the table without a word. I didn't touch it. Couldn't. The way her eyes shimmered. This wasn't one of her games. I found it, she said, in the brown suitcase. The one in the attic. That suitcase belonged to her birth mom, Kendra. I adopted Zoe after Kendra passed an overdose, they said. I never opened that case. Thought it'd be too painful. Too invasive. But that day Zoe did what I couldn't. I finally unfolded the paper. The handwriting was soft, curved, feminine.